I would indeed be speaking about our flagship initiative and program in Central Asia called Digital CASA. It's actually a program that covers several countries in Central Asia. This program really belongs to the governments of the respective countries, because the World Bank supports this program, but the actual work is being done by our counterparts in these countries. I would like to structure my presentation as follows. I have my first part devoted to the global context as we see it from the World Bank's digital development team. But I won't dwell much upon this part, because the trends that I will be speaking about are pretty familiar, I think, to this audience. I just wanted to give you a context of behind what we are doing in Central Asia. Then I will say a few words about what the bank is doing overall in digital development, and most importantly, how we work on Digital CASA, what the objectives are, and what's the progress in Central Asia. Now, in terms of global context, what we are observing is that digital economy, whichever way you define it, is taking more and higher share of the overall global economy. Well, I'm kind of going ahead a bit in my narrative. I would say that the data becomes a real foundation of economic development and the driver of many industries. That's why actually data-driven economy, and that's almost a synonym of digital economy, and the boundaries between data-driven economy and the rest of the economy become more and more blurred. The higher share of the world economy is getting almost associated with digital development and digital economy. So that's perhaps first I wanted to say. That's why the World Bank cannot overlook this trend, and digital development becomes a key part of our work globally, both in the digital sector itself, but also in other industries. And the development of many industries are increasingly shaped or reshaped by the disruptive technologies, a subset of which are presented on this slide. And again, the whole industries are transformed. For instance, if we are talking about the fintech, the leaders of the key banks are defining their institutions as not as banks, not as financial institutions, but as IT companies. But even the traditional industries like oil and gas are increasingly driven by digital technologies. Another important trend is the increased, accelerated adoption of digital technologies as opposed to some of the widespread technologies in the past. And as I said, data becoming a key fuel of digital economy. Sometimes we tend to define it as the new oil, the oil of the 21st century. But as one of the previous speakers said, you may not take benefit of the data, but get drowned in data. And that's why data management becomes of paramount importance. It's a priority to make to take benefit of the data that is available from different sources. And in fact, a key factor of success of nations in becoming a leader, take on leadership roles in the global economy is about how successfully they are dealing with data. Basically, the data is growing exponentially, but not everyone is taking benefit of it. That's also a fact. Another fact of our times is the growth of platform economics, and government itself is becoming a platform. You can define government as a platform in many ways, but a growing integration of government agencies through digital technologies. The use of common platforms in the government is also an important factor of success in terms of public sector reform, in terms of improved provision of services by the government to citizens and businesses. So that's all very exciting, but there is also, well, the same trends that can be classified as development trends can also can also have their downside. And if we're talking about digital platforms as the driver of global digital economy, it can be viewed as a kind of winner take all phenomenon, with the key digital platforms, platform businesses concentrating in specific geographic locations in North America and Asia, with some of the other regions lagging behind. And in this respect, digital development can, of course, create new opportunities for many countries, including for the countries in this region in Central Asia, but at the same time, digital technologies and platform economics may expand and increase the digital divide and the gap between countries in terms of economic development. Faced by both promises and downsides of digital development, a number of countries are adopting their digital strategies and programs. And you can see that the countries of Central Asia are no exception in this trend. We in the World Bank have been doing our best to be of assistance to our partner governments in terms of developing digital development strategies. We've been very active providing technical assistance to many of the developing and transition countries on this list. And here I'm coming to 10 minutes. Okay, thanks. To how the World Bank supports digital development. We are doing it through three main tracks: through lending, through partnerships, and through analytics. And this kind of pictures on the slide illustrate that. This is our overall approach to digital development, which we try to apply in everything that we are doing, a systematic approach that derives from the World Development Report Digital Dividends, and it focuses on kind of holistic coverage in every digital development program of both non-digital and digital foundations, legislation, leadership, skills, connectivity, application of digital technologies in government, citizens, society, and businesses, and ultimately aiming at the impact in terms of economic and social development. I will try to go a bit faster and just give you a glimpse of key areas where the World Bank is active. a brief overview of World Bank's lending portfolio in ICT and digital development. Digital development partnership as a important vehicle for our assistance. And now I would like to come back to Central Asia and give you a reason behind our initiative to launch Digital CASA program in this region. First is, of course, constraints in terms of connectivity in Central Asia regions, as evidenced by low bandwidth per capita is a key indicator of connectivity, of the quality of connectivity. And here, despite the fact that some progress has been made between 2017 and now, but still the overall picture remains the same. Central Asia is lagging behind the leading nations. The same, another indicator is the pricing, the cost of broadband internet in the region, which is also not very good in Central Asia. Here, Kyrgyz Republic is comparatively better off compared to some of the other countries, but still it is very much lagging behind the world leaders, and this is also evidenced in the placement of Kyrgyz Republic and other Central Asia countries in the key international ratings. So Digital CASA regional program aims to improve and increase access to more affordable internet throughout Central Asia by crowding in private investment into the ICT sector, and based on this improved connectivity, further improve the quality of digital government services in Central Asia, and improve the digital entrepreneurship and digital skills. The holistic approach that I presented earlier is also reflected in this program. We're dealing with enabling environment, connectivity, digital platforms, and data centers, as well as, of course, skills and digital entrepreneurship. Ultimately, what we want to achieve is a more comprehensive and redundant coverage by connectivity, by broadband networks throughout Central Asia. And in this respect, it's important actually to maximize participation of the Central Asia countries in this program to achieve synergies across Central Asia countries in terms of backbone and infrastructure. But these synergies are not limited, in our view, just to connectivity. They also apply to other components of Digital CASA program. And actually, the components of Digital CASA Kyrgyzstan project that became effective earlier this year are typical for other participating countries. At the moment, we have, as I said, the project launched in Kyrgyz Republic. You can see the key components here. And in fact, my presentation builds upon the presentation by Mr. Dastan Dagoev, who spoke about Digital CASA, our efforts under Digital CASA. By saying our, I would say that it's predominantly the work by the government of Kyrgyz Republic, with World Bank providing financing and technical assistance. These efforts are contributing to the overall work on digital government in Kyrgyzstan. So basically, the project is about connectivity. It's about digital government infrastructure, but also improved provision of digital services. We are actually very much planning to support the Tunduk system that was presented by the previous speaker, because it's also part of digital government infrastructure. The project is also contributing to enabling environment for digital economy by supporting the progress on legislation related to digital economy, development of skills, development of digital innovation, and I would end my presentation by saying that actually this project in Kyrgyz Republic is open to partnerships with many of you. I know that a number of people in this audience or participants of this conference are already partners of Digital CASA. The project is very much focused on partnerships, and I would very much welcome all of you to explore ways how you could build synergy with what we are doing, how you could help the Kyrgyz government and Kyrgyz nation overall through this project, and by liaising with your activities. And since we're at an early stage of designing jointly with our partner governments the same or similar projects in Uzbekistan and Tajikistan, these are also great entry points for even more partnerships and synergies throughout Central Asia. There is much more to say about different components and activities on the Digital CASA, but I would probably stop here and would be very glad to answer any questions or have a chat outside of this audience. Thank you very much.